Hello, weirdlings, patrons, and casual observers. The solar eclipse is Monday, April the 8th. I chose this day to launch my newest book, Havamal, The Language of Being. Eclipses have fascinated humans since ancient times. Your ancestors were sky watchers, so this should come as no surprise. Being a rare celestial event, it held profound significance. As with most world cultures, the ancient Europeans interpreted the eclipse through their understanding of the natural world. Mostly in ancient Europe, eclipses were considered an ominous occurrence, in that all of life depends on the sun. Its darkening, for however long, prompted fear and apprehension. From the sudden darkening of the sky during a solar eclipse to the reddish hue of a lunar eclipse, there remain a plethora of interpretations throughout every age. Now, a bit further afield, the ancient Greeks referred to the solar eclipse as the sky wolf or sky dog, based on the consideration that the sun was being devoured by a great wolf. Among the ancient Norse, that wolf was Hati, and its presence was equated with chaos. The word Hati means despiser, hater. So it was thought that this dark wolf hated the sun, hated Suna. Attesting to the wisdom of our old European ancestors, there was Hati, who swallowed the sun, and Managarmr, who swallowed the moon. More than myth, I understand this to mean the ancients knew the difference between a solar and lunar eclipse. As with such great phenomena, it was the Seidr folk, the shamans of old Europe, who recognized the eclipse as having another meaning. After all, many of these folk reveled in dark places, from cave to deep forest. As such, the perspective of an eclipse on the everyman, the ordinary, everyday individual, was in stark contrast to that of those with more mystical leanings. Even so, today, millions of individuals are flocking towards the path of the eclipse, drawn, as it were, by some imaginary force they cannot explain. Indeed, these individuals are participating in a pilgrimage, one that I would like to consider a resacralization of nature, natura. For me, as a Seidr woman, Monday's eclipse, other than being my birthday, is the nexus of nature and spirituality. Being a Seidr woman includes tracking environmental trends from my own 6-mile radius to around the globe. Observing, monitoring, recording, and identifying environmental trends over decades to better identify the overarching patterns, changes, and vibrations is integral to the sayings or prophecies of Seidr. As such, I think there is a shift sweeping across the American spiritual landscape, one that signals the rise of nature-based practices. Even if only recent, the eclipse has increased an interest in astrology, tarot, runes, crystals, Seidr, shamanism, even vegetarianism. I consider this an emotional yearning to commune with and retreat into nature. And anytime there is an increase in seeking deeper meaning, purpose, and values, the planet benefits. If paying more attention to eclipses, solstices, equinoxes, and other natural phenomena crafts a broader societal transition toward ecological consciousness, even as many grapple with climate change, then I consider that a good thing. Perhaps because, as a Seidr woman, I think long term. Not in years so much, but decades and ages. As such, I cultivate a cosmic vision and Weltanschauung that has emerged from an evolutionary and ecological understanding of the human story, one that deliberately puts us in alignment with our animal and plant relations. As such, I will consider Monday's solar eclipse a renaissance of nature-based spirituality. For example, consider that 27% of Americans today consider themselves religiously unaffiliated. That number is up from the 16% in 2006. That 27% demographic number now constitutes the largest segment of the population to surpass any single faith group. Living in the path of totality, as I am, and observing the number of people across every walk of life throughout the nation who are preparing in some way for the eclipse, it is difficult for me not to view this as an awakening. So, where some hold superstitious beliefs around this event, others are in physical preparation, and some are ready for ridding themselves of dross to better receive the reverent eminence that the eclipse will bring. Ultimately, in this convergence of nature and spirit, of natura and Seidr, a sense of cosmic belonging emerges, one that beckons us to foster a connection with the vast cosmos. Ultimately, you will decide for yourself what this event, if any, holds for you. Again, for myself, Monday's eclipse, coupled with a milestone birthday, will, and already has, given rise to a proper sense of humility by reminding me that I am but a speck within the vastness of natura in the universe. A sense of humility that has been deeply ennobling. As spiritual seekers, I suggest you turn towards Mother Earth and Father Sky to fill your spiritual being. For an opportunity is upon us now, in this moment, to be open to self-reflection, self-renewal, and reverence for all that lives. The wild world speaks often and clearly, so do not shudder yourself away. Be still and listen with heart in hand. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and be whole.